What's up? I'm Ayla. Swadika, Ayla ka.
I'm Bethan. Swadika, Bethan.
And this is Let's Talk PL, a Boys Love podcast.
Hey, and Newtown Rap 2, Let's Talk PL, CDY.
Today, we're doing a very special holiday episode. The holidays tomorrow in America is Thanksgiving. If you're listening to this on the day this episode came out, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. But if you're listening to it just sometime around the time Thanksgiving just happened, maybe. Either way, it's the holiday time. And we are speaking in Thai, although there will not be a lot of translation, but there will most likely be a lot of language learning because today we are joined by someone who you have seen on the podcast before, but you haven't had a chance to get to know, somebody that I know very well, my Thai teacher, and also our translator for Foot and Cow Tongue. Today we are here with Bo.
สวัสดีค่ะ Hi, I'm Bo.
Welcome as a guest. You are the artist today.
Yes, we don't need any translator today.
No translation. No translation. But I feel like we will get a lot of language learning. That's actually how we met. Is I had seen you on TikTok. In fact, today we were talking about, we had class earlier today. We were talking about how you had done a TikTok video about words that use jai. And I had gotten I got Jayen and I started using a lot from that video. And then randomly you had commented on one of our YouTube episodes and I replied and I was like, oh, Decoding Thai. That is your handle on TikTok. I was like, I like your videos. I know you. And I already was wanting to pick back up Thai lessons. We had taken some Thai lessons a while ago, but I had an experience last time I was in Thailand where I was like, no, I really I actually need to learn Thai now. This needs to be, I can't just be Sawadika. I need to have real Thai. And so I just asked if you knew any Thai teachers because I had asked some of our friends who are English teachers if they knew anyone that taught Thai, and they were like, no, I don't know anybody that actually is a Thai person, a native Thai speaker that teaches the kind of Thai you are looking to learn. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So I was like, do you know of any Thai teachers? And you said, well, I'm a Thai teacher. And now here we are many months later. But I'm so curious how you found Let's Talk BL to make that initial comment.
That's so funny because I have never seen any shows like this before. And because at that time, A Boss and a Babe was on air. And of course, because of my algorithm, I get all these everything fought book. And and your video showed up and I was like, ooh, what's this? And so I checked it out and then I watched it and I was like, oh man, that would be so awesome if I could translate for them, for Fought Book. I was a little jealous, whoever is translating for them, because I'm I love them. And but then you guys try speaking Thai, which really, really impressed me. As somebody who is Thai and as a Thai teacher, I love when non-Thai speakers try their best to speak Thai, even though it's basic, maybe, the pronunciation is a little bit off. I don't care. I thought it was really, really cute. So that's why I comment on it, because usually I don't comment on anybody's video. I just I'm the one who's looking at the videos and I'm okay, that's cool, love it, save it, but never comment. And I was okay, I'm gonna comment on this because I really, really loved it. And so that's why. That's why I comment on it.
Yes. Yeah. And now here we are. And I will say I do think my Thai pronunciation is getting better, but another sort of side effect of taking lessons again more formally is more Thai culture. And we used to do these episodes a lot, these Thai culture episodes, and it's the holidays. And there have recently been a few comments and DMs about oh, wow, in Thailand, they're jumping to Christmas really fast. Mm-hmm. And in my brain, I was right, because Thanksgiving is American, but I think that as fans of Asian media, we're so used to Chuseok, which is the Korean fall holiday. We're just used to there being a fall holiday in between, kind of.
Yeah.
And so we thought we should do another Thai culture episode. It's been a while. And so since you grew up in Thailand, went to school in Thailand, went to college in Thailand, who better to teach us about Thai holidays?
Of course, me.
Okay, so we are going to start with a game because it's Let's Talk Yelp. We have to start with a game. This
Sure.
one is rapid fire questions. First thing that comes to your mind. You're not allowed to stop and think about it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It just has to be the first thing that comes to your mind.
All right.
The pressure is on.
So much pressure.
Answer correctly. Okay, let's get started. Your favorite actor?
Khao Tang.
Nice. Your favorite couple?
For Khao Tang.
Your favorite series?
Moonlight Chicken.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Not a cow tongue led show, but in there.
They're in there.
But in there, yeah.
That's
And in my head, I have Moonlight Chicken sequel
Yes.
with Kai Pa and Alan.
Oh my gosh.
So,
People
yeah.
still talk about those two, and they still are like devastated that we never got to see them be a couple.
But he did ask for his line. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's all that we could have expected from Alan at that point.
Yeah.
They met at the food truck. That we
It's the
saw.
start.
Yes, we saw the teeny tiny start. So, hopefully, pee off if you're
Well,
listening.
we don't know if there's a a part two. Well, I don't know. In my imagination, there is. There's a Kai Pa Alan version in 2024. If there's not, then I can still create that in my head.
Exactly. I mean, we are still waiting for the part two,
Yes.
2024. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Mhm.
Okay. Speaking of 2024, what show are you looking forward to the most in 2024?
Pluto.
Ah,
I've been waiting to see more GL, and I love Namtan. And then
Me
when
too.
she paired up with Theme, I'm just so excited to see
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
film kills it every time.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm excited there's another GL. I personally really ship Jan and Sizey. And so I was like
Uh-huh.
sad that it wasn't them. But like
Yeah,
I'm still excited.
but there will be like a side
Yeah.
couple, right? Yeah. So, mhm.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm.
Last but not least, your favorite holiday?
Like a tone.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Okay. And we'll get you to tell us about that because that's actually one of the topics of conversation. But in talking about getting into the holidays, getting into the culture, are there Western holidays that are also celebrated in Thailand? And if so, which ones are they?
So let's start with Christmas because it's coming up soon. So yes, people don't celebrate Christmas the same way as in in America like we do. It is definitely more like a festival. No, there's no like days off on the 25th. Although this could be like the entire episode on its own if I talk about this. But I went to a Christian school, and so we definitely had Christmas off. But if we're talking about the rest of the country, it's a normal day, like every day. But definitely people who are Christians would celebrate Christmas kind of like in America. They would go to church and, give gifts, things like that. But for the most part, like, we don't celebrate it the way we do it here. So so that's for Christmas. But you can definitely see Christmas decorations all over, like at the mall or hotels, like people
For
still,
capitalism. No,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. People still like celebrate like the whole Christmas tree decorations, Santa Claus, and, playing Christmas songs everywhere. And even young kids in school learning, English, they would, still sing Jingle Bell. But yeah, so but there's no like gift givings unless you're like Christians or like in that that culture. So yeah,
I think it's confusing for fans, like myself included, because there will be like elaborate tree lighting ceremonies that like all of the people we are fans of will like be guests at.
Yeah.
And then there will be like they'll release, lots of companies release like Christmas songs, right? Like they'll do like an ensemble song. So it's like confusing because it's very easy to think like, oh, okay, like same.
Yeah. It's definitely something that people find that it's like, oh, this is pretty, this is very festive, we're going to celebrate it, has nothing to do with religion or anything like that. It was just like, oh, this is fun, this is what people in America would do, people in the West would do, and then it's like because Thailand is already very well known as a country that is very open to all sorts of culture, right? We're very, very open to that. And then so having like these type of celebration culture is just like, to us, it's like, wow, this is beautiful. We should, have this in the country too. But there's a lot of people who, don't understand what Christmas is, but still enjoy the whole celebration and the songs and understand what Santa Claus is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you like, kind of like how in America, right? When if you shop at all between like November 1st and even like after Christmas, you memorize the Christmas songs. Is it similar in Thailand? Like you hear Christmas songs everywhere or no?
I remember hearing them everywhere, especially in malls. Definitely in malls. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the mall because it's so hot
because you're
outside,
a true Thai.
Thailand.
Yeah. It's cool inside. Yeah. But for me personally, because I went to a Christian school, like I know these songs are already, not because like, I'm American or anything like that, but in our school, and I don't know if other schools do this, but especially with my school, we have like, church choirs. And then so we actually sing all the Christmas songs that we know here. And they're both English and Thai. And so there's a lot of people in Thailand who don't know the Christmas songs, but they're familiar with them, but they can't like, sing.
There was some BL where they used a Christmas instrumental as part of like,
oh my god, and it
music.
drove me crazy. So there's been a few. So in the best story, they use "Oh Holy Night" as like instrumental, and I was like, what? And then there was another one, that used "Silent Night." Someone has used "The First Noel," which is my favorite Christmas song, and so I was like so confused. I was like.
Halfway through, you're like, yeah, that is that song.
Honestly, I kind of hope that all the schools do sing the songs because I'm just picturing like Gemini, like in like a school choir singing like Jingle Bell Rock or something.
Yeah. I'm so cute.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did already mention that your favorite holiday is Loy Krathong, which is going on right now. What is the meaning of the festival and how is it celebrated?
Actually, you know what? Loy Krathong is actually not a holiday. I said that quickly because it was rapid fire, but it was more like a celebration. We don't have like a day off or anything like that. But Loy Krathong, first of all, there's two words going on here. So here we have Thai lesson going on right now. So the word Loy, a lot of people pronounce it with loy, but it's actually loy. Loy means to float, so it's a verb. So it's to float. Krathong is it's a floating, I want to say a floating lotus shape. So it's like more of a round shape. And then you decorate it with banana leaves and flowers. And everybody does their own individual way of designing the krathong, which in school we had to learn how to do it too. And which was really fun. You get really creative and there's like flowers you can choose and you can put it anywhere you want. By the way, if anybody has ever seen Safe House season 2, they did that. So you can check out like everybody's krathong is going to look different, right? So that's how we did it. We would decorate it and then we would put incense on there. So there's 3 incense and a candle in there. So some people could cut a little bit of their hair in there or nails. That means like, it's because we're going to be floating this graton, by the lake or a canal, not the beach. So this festival, the reason why I like it is because it happens at nighttime, and then because I was young at that time, it was, you can't really, as a young girl, you're not really allowed to go out at night, and then so like that was the only time like I could actually go out and do something at night. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons why I like it, because I'm like, oh, it's a nighttime and it's not too hot because, it's nighttime, right? But it's also beautiful too, because like you can actually, you don't have to make it like some people make it if you know how to make it. But there's vendors that would sell graton, around the lake or wherever, it's celebrated. You can buy it. They come in different sizes. There's like the large one and there's small one. The kids would get the small one, the adults would get the bigger one. So you pick your favorite, whichever you want to, and then you go to the lake and then you pray. So basically you pray to the goddess of water. I think that's what it's called. Goddess of river, goddess of water. You pray, before you float this graton, you pray whatever you want to have your life, whatever, whether it's job, relationship, whatever it is, and when you let go of graton in the water, it is believed that, all the bad things that happened this year and whatever in your life would go away. Mm. The downside of it, though, like, even though I like the festival, the downside is there's a lot of trash the next morning. So people are starting to make graton more biodegradable material. Yeah, because even when I was growing up, like I remember making it out of foam, and then now they have like all these different materials that you can make. So but it is a fun festival because there's a lot of people. Everybody's everybody's happy, nighttime, and then you can't see your graton anymore once it's in the water because it's dark, right? But then you can still see the candles and incense lit up. So it's like, there's like sparkles of like lights everywhere in the water, So, So I think it's a beautiful festival celebration. But yeah, like I said, the downside is like the next morning when you see like, all the trash.
And so is it kind of just like how we do like New Year's resolutions, or like what is the like meaning, or what is it based in?
I would say like a New Year's resolution, because our New Year's resolution would be something that you're looking forward to do for that year, right? It's like your goal, right? So this one wouldn't be more of a goal, but it's like, you're hoping for something good that will happen to you. And then, the bad will go away, with the graton. Yeah.
Does it have a meaning if you do it like with someone, right? Because like we've learned from series, of course, if you go to the temple together and you pray together, then like you're going to see each other in the next life. So
some people believe that, yeah.
When they did it in Safe House, there was a bunch of people that clipped when, sorry to say this, when Nun's Kratongs like went together, like if they eventually come together, they'll like make it means something.
I mean, clearly, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Please don't come for me. I'm just kidding.
But even the cast were like, teasing. About
they were.
Yeah. So, it's definitely kind of a joke, that people want to believe like, oh, look, graton together. That means you're meant to be,
Your dreams will coincide.
And graton is like, okay, you could go with your family, and then it's definitely, popular like among couples. So,
I was gonna say like a romantic holiday.
Yeah, exactly. It's like our version of Valentine's Day, even though we do Valentine's Day too.
Dao and Offroad have been talking about it. He's like, there's a lot of rivers at his school, so we'll go do it. So funny.
Is it on the same day every year, or is it like a time of year, or like is
It's
it like
by
a week
the-
long? Like
It's by the lunar calendar, so every year is going to be different, but usually it lands in November. And so this year it's going to be on the 27th, I think. Yeah, if not the 28th. I'm pretty sure it's on the 27th.
wow.
Yeah. But we don't have like a week long or anything like that, but it's just one day. I've never been to like a Tom festival anywhere outside of Bangkok, but I've seen pictures and they look, oh wait, I take that back. I did go to Ayutthaya. It was a whole different experience for me because, when you're in Ayutthaya, it's surrounded by historic, sites, right? And it really felt like, you went back in time.
Oh, I bet that's so cool.
Something that I definitely recommend, if you guys get to do that. There's other provinces that look very historical and, make you feel like you're back in time. So like when I was in, Bangkok, it was like, you're surrounded by cities and buildings, you can see, some of the temples like from far away, but this was different, because it's like you're really around, all these historical sites. And it was another, experience for me.
Oh,
Sounds
that's
really
so cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you started to be like, we don't get a week off, which it leads us to, let's talk about some of the other big holidays and festivals in Thailand and how they're celebrated. Maybe we start with Songkran because you mentioned a week.
Yeah. Songkran. Yeah, it is at April 13th. And Songkran is also, a lot of people don't know this, but Songkran is also a Thai New Year's. And a lot of people who hear Songkran, they're like, oh, thinking of the water festival. It's like that. That's the only thing, but it's more than that. It's more, for us, we get excited about Songkran because we don't have school, I never worked in Thailand, so I would be really happy, if I lived in Thailand, I'm like, okay, I have days off from work, but as students, as kids, we're like, yay, we don't have to go to school. But also like, it's already, summertime for us anyway. We have because it's the hottest time of the month or the year. Anyway, Songkran is, yes, water festival because it's hot, like I said, but it's also a day to spend time with your elders, So it's that kind of celebration where it's like family time. So kind of like how we would say like, oh, Christmas time is like family time, and Songkran is like that. So yeah. So places would close like for a week or so, maybe three to 5 days sometimes, or like the entire week. I know like some companies like, have like 2 weeks off. That's kind of rare, maybe like a private company. But yeah, so that would be the only time that, we're like, yay, we have all these days off, but it's super hot during that time. It's already hot in Thailand, but it's extremely hot.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's not terrifying.
It's a triple digit during that time. And humid.
Boy. Yeah. So what are some of the other big like festivals and holidays?
Let's see. New Year's. We can talk about New Year's. New Year's. Oh, by the way, people who don't celebrate Christmas, there's no gift givings, but we definitely give gifts on holiday. On New Year's.
Oh,
so it could be like on on the 31st or on the 1st. But I learned this this last couple of years. Actually, I didn't know this before, maybe because I was like still in my American mind, even when I lived there. But I learned that you can still give gifts anytime in January. So it doesn't have to be like on the 1st, and if you think about like for us in America, it's we're going out there trying to find something for somebody, before the 25th, right? And then but in Thailand, like I know like people still give gifts on the 1st and then say Happy New Year, for the entire January. So there's not a lot of stress going on with like trying to find something for someone, right away on that day. So we'll have like a couple days off during New Year's and celebrate New Year's. So I think that, New Year celebration is similar to how we have it here, so
except there's also presents. We should add presents to New Year's here. I think we should do that. I think we should adopt
the entire January.
Adopt the Thai custom of New Year's presents. Is there like a specific kind of gift that people would give for New Year's? Like, I don't know, like for some holidays, right? Like for Chuseok, there's a lot of like moon cakes and like foods and fruits and things like that. But for New Year's, like, is there like or it's just for presents? It's just present time.
It's whatever you feel like giving somebody. I've seen people this not that I've received this, but I've seen like people give salty fish, to another person, but it was like, oh, this is from a well-known company or somebody, and then like, oh, this is very delicious, this is very well known, and then they'll give it to somebody because it's like, they know that this is a very delicious fish or something like that, so it's like anything works.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's very cool. Well, we obviously, since we've gotten into series and seen a lot of these celebrations, we have always wanted to be a part, especially of Songkran. Really, just any of them. It's such a cool experience to experience another culture and another celebration. We went to New York City this last year and celebrated Chinese New Year. And it was such a cool experience because it's something so different than anything that I have known my entire life, right? Celebrating American holidays and Christian holidays. But so for foreigners who get to go to Thailand during these holidays, how did they respectfully participate in these holidays if they're in Thailand?
Let's see. I know a lot of people visit Thailand during Songkran, and they're excited about the whole water festival and everything, definitely. Well, one of the things that I would still recommend people do when people go during this time is still visit, temples, right? And then because you want to experience that too. Let's see, let me think. This is obvious, but don't be an asshole. Like with Songkran, I know like in some parts in Thailand, people are like, okay, well, we know that it's Songkran, you can like, just splash water at anything, when I lived there, I wouldn't come out of the house at all because I didn't want to get wet. Just kind of like, make sure, you're not just like, using your water gun at any random person.
Random
because,
people.
People aren't going to like it. But, if they're already wet, then maybe like, okay, here you go. But other than that, let's see, let me think. During the holidays, let's say, usually like my best advice is like follow or, just observe what the locals are doing, and then you can always ask questions if you're not sure what to do. But there's so many things that I can, give. Let's see, maybe ask me anything you think you.
So I'm curious because you said like people should also go to temples and participate in that. We've been to temples, and I will say like it's a little intimidating. Like, I am someone that's very like, I have been in lots of different kinds of churches and am very like open about religion and open to other religions. And so like being in a different type of like religious building is not something that's new to me, but with the language barrier and wanting to be respectful, even when I was with people that were very generous enough to, like Thai people that were generous enough to take me to the temple and usher me through and like tell me the things to do.
Yeah.
how can, if anybody is in Thailand during Songkran and is like, yes, I want to do, also go to the temple and experience that part of it. Are there specific like rituals or blessings or prayers that take place during that time? And like, what is expected? Like, what are some maybe etiquette rules for that piece of things?
First of all, you want to dress appropriately. As you probably know, you don't want to, show too much skin, because they're going to not let you in, right? And there's always going to be somebody who's like trying to sell you something, overpriced clothes, right? But that is the number one, in terms of respecting, the culture. When I say dress appropriately, you don't have to be fancy, right? As you know, you can dress comfortably however you want, but as long as you're not showing your cleavage, or, you're not wearing short shorts. And so, yeah, you want to just cover yourself a little bit. You dress relax, of course. So that is like definitely number one. Once you go into the temple, there's going to definitely be, look for the signs. Always look for the signs. If they say do not do this, or signs like what you should and should not do, pay attention to those things. Because as a Thai person, like, we automatically know, because we grow up with it, right? And we know that when we're about to walk inside the temple, or like the building, there's this ledge thing in front of the door where you can't not step on. You have to cross, and I know some people ignore that sign and then step on it. And then, I've seen Thai people yell at, tourists before, and it's, I feel bad for them. But just really look for that sign. And if there's anything, ceremonial going on, you don't have to participate or anything like that. You can definitely observe. And I think that, do some research, because I think every places are going to be a little bit different. So even for us Thais, we have to observe and see what is really going on. For me, who doesn't go to the temple a lot growing up, and my family's Buddhist, but I it's not like we go to the temple all the time or anything like that. And I went to a Christian school. For me, I get really confused. Like, I don't know what to do at that place. So I feel like, I'm tourist, and so I have to always look for signs and making sure, I'm doing the right thing. And if there's something, traditional ceremony going on, of course you don't have to participate, but it's there. You can watch, from far away. It's not that, it's wrong to, observe. It's totally fine. Make sure you don't, take photographies or anything like that. If they close the temple for whatever reason, because there's ceremony or whatever, of course, that you can't go inside. But if they allow you to go inside, you can, enjoy as much as you like. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah. Isn't there also a rule about, like, if you take a picture of the Buddha, it has to, like, you don't want to, like, cut it off, like, in the frame?
Yeah, especially with the head part. I mean, the head is the most sacred part of our body. And so, and our feet is like the lowest part of the body. And so, one thing that I do want to mention, this reminds me of it. Okay, so with photography, yes, you definitely don't want to cut it out. You want to have like the entire frame, right? And you definitely want to have the head. Like I said, it's the most sacred part, right? And there's actually a lot of historical places in Thailand that people will actually like, cut the head off, the statue off, and then sell it, or I don't know what they do with it, but because that's a sacred part, and they'll take it. So you visit some of like very historical places, sometimes you'll see like headless statues. Yeah.
Whoa.
Which is like a no, but people still do it. This reminds me of something. When you go inside, and maybe you guys have experienced this before, you don't want to point your toes in front of the statue or the monks. You should tuck your feet, away. Make sure
like when you sit down.
Yeah, when you sit down, especially on the floor, because when you go inside, it's going to be carpeted, right? And so when you sit down, and you don't have to, do what us Thais do. We do the pray and all of that. You don't have to. You can just sit there and enjoy, what's inside. Just observe everything and just enjoy what's inside architecturally and the beauty of it. You don't have to like do whatever we do. It's okay as long as you just don't want to have your feet pointing at the monks or the Buddha statue. It is a no. So because
I did not know that.
Yeah, because when it comes to feet, it's only for walking. You're not supposed to point with your feet. If let's say you somebody drops a coin, right, and then somebody's like, "Oh, I dropped a coin. Where is it?" And then you want to use your hand to point at it. If you use your feet to point at, like, there it is, like point with your foot, that is no. That is so disrespectful.
Yeah, there's like another thing that we do, I would say in Western culture, like pretty frequently, of like if there's a box or something or something on the floor, right? Like on the floor, and somebody's like, "Oh, hey, can you like toss that my way or give that to me?" We'll kick it to each other, like, not kick, but you'll like nudge it with your foot instead of like bending down and picking it up and handing it.
Yeah,
I would assume that's also probably a no.
No, it's like all the hands. I remember somebody asking me, "Wait, what about football? Is it allowed?" Of course it is, because it's a sport. That is not a problem at all, and people love playing soccer over there.
Yeah.
And but for of course they also call it soccer, but they call it football, like everybody else who's not in America. Yeah.
Is there a way to find? I'm sure somebody is going to be like, "Ayla, just Google it." But like, I'm wondering if there's a way, because again, our experience, now we have gone to temples just on our own, just like group of foreigners, like, let's go to the temple. But our real experiences with temples where like we got to do the thing where you shake the sticks, right? Yeah. And they like come out, and then like the prayers and all of that. Thai people have been generous enough to take us and explain to us what's happening and like give us the flowers to put on the statue and all of that kind of stuff. Is there a way to learn how to do that stuff, or to like, can you hire a guide to do that kind of thing with you in Thailand?
Yeah, there's definitely a guide. Yeah, okay. who can help you with that. Even for me, like, I know what it is, but I get lost sometimes, and because I don't visit temples a lot, and so I shake this thing, and then after that, I don't know what to do anymore. And I notice like a lot of people, before they shake, they would pray, they would do something, they would chant or something, and I look around like, what are they doing? So I have to have somebody tell me what to do too.
And but it's allowed to have guides in a temple. It's not like a no because it's religious.
Yeah, it is definitely okay. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
There you go.
It's nice to like, the fun part for me is like, okay, let's see my future,
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Well, okay. So we've talked about some of the like big holidays all over, but are there any holidays or celebrations or festivals that are like region specific, right? Like Chiang Mai up north, or like, Bangkok, or maybe like in the south, like Phuket, or on the other side, like Hat Yai. Is there anything, or, in like Khon Kaen, where it's a little more Isan? Is there stuff that's like region specific?
There are definitely region specific, and even like the kind of festival or holiday that is nationwide, each regions do things differently too. And so anybody who wants to travel, definitely, Google it and see like what interests you guys, because the central region will do a little bit different, like especially in Bangkok, because it's a metropolitan city. So people are going to do something definitely different from, somewhere like in Khon Kaen or, other places like Chiang Mai. They'll like, the North will have like the Lana, influence and so it's going to be different. And they have their own thing too. I've never celebrated or visited those time of years, in Thailand to, be a part of, the holiday or the celebration. Hopefully one day. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to any in Chiang Mai that are like Chiang Mai specific?
Definitely not during any of the festivals or holidays. Yeah. I visit the North very often. It's because it's usually the time that I would go up there visiting, family is when school is out, so anytime we have school off, then we go back. But it's not like during like the holiday. It would be like summer break, and spend time with family, and that would be it. or my family would come back here to celebrate Christmas or something. So yeah.
Interesting. So I have been introduced to quite a few holidays through the series that we've watched. The first time I was introduced to Songkran was in a series. I forget which series it was, but I remember seeing it on the show and being like, what is happening? I was like, this is wild. This looks crazy. And the same thing with like Loy Krathong. We were introduced to it in Safe House. And then I want to say it's
been in a few series.
Yeah, it's been in some other things.
Moonlight Chicken, definitely.
Yeah. So what are some cultural things that you think fans might miss if they only see it in series and try to understand how it then exists in the real world?
Let's see.
Because it doesn't have to be holiday specific. It can be like any cultural aspects because like we're introduced to so much culture through this series, but as we all know, even with American series, right? Like what you see on TV is not necessarily real life.
Right, exactly.
So like what is real life?
What is real life? I'm trying to think if there's like any like festival or like, any scenes that pop in my head right now that I can remember that I can actually speak about. Let's see. Moonlight Chicken had Loy Krathong. I'm trying to think if there's like anything that one thing that I can probably talk about is if anybody has seen Moonlight Chicken, the last episode is when Gemini and Ford characters, they went to the temple, but this one is more like Chinese temple. And I think you and I talked about this before, but there's the offering, there's the offering that they gave to the temple. And there's this whole culture where people would go to the temple believing that they are going to get some luck, from the temple or like from praying or something, but there has to be, you have to put a little bit of work into it and not, for example, let's say, somebody who's still in school, right? Let's say they're still in college and like, they're hoping to get a good grade or to graduate this year. And, of course they're going to work hard to, study and all that, but they still go to the temple and pray for it. Pray that they're going to pass this test or, get into this university or get a good grade, whatever it is, there'll be some situations where like people would like, say like, okay, bless me with this. And then, and then I will give you some offerings, so some people like run around, laps in their college, and this is like kind of a way what they would say, this is what they have to do in order to get what they want, And once they get what they want, say like they pass the grade, or they, you know, get into the university they want, then they you know, bring these offerings to the temple. This offering could be food or essential stuff, you know, that the monks can use it later. But then, you know, you're giving it directly to the god or the Buddha that you know you prayed with. And I feel like, you know, like in that episode, I feel like, you know, maybe not a lot of people know what was going on in that in that scene, and it doesn't really show. Like my guess, because like, you know, you don't see like a whole detail about it, but you can tell like Gemini or Ford's character, he wanted to go to America, right? And then so maybe he did some offering before that. He prayed something before that, you know. And so like the last scene, there's offerings. So I know I definitely have some friends who did things like that, you know. And so it's not just like, oh, here's the offering, but there's something behind it, you know. They wanted to get something in return, you know. So yeah, so it's like more like a thank you, you know, like, oh, I got this now, so thank you, you know.
Yeah,
at least that's what I was told, you know, because being around people who did something like that, they would tell me like, oh, this is what I'd never done it before. But yeah, let's see if there's any Thai comments who would have different opinions about it. But
yeah, it's interesting. That kind of stuff in series, I think you're right, doesn't always translate, because like I think we talked about this one too before, like in classes. And I told Sunset about you, where he has to like walk up the mountain. It's like a plot point. And before I had conversations about this specifically, I didn't understand that was all connected to the temple back at the very beginning when he's like praying and trying to get into this school, right? And like to become like an actor. I didn't understand, like, I didn't really get the connection. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just slow and everybody else got it, but like, I didn't really understand that like him walking up that was like a part of the whole. Like it was all, I didn't realize it was like all connected to each other.
Yeah. This also reminds me of my school president. So remember how like all the boys were going up.
Oh, right. You know, and they get that fight.
Yeah. So that reminded me of that too, because they wanted to, you know, be in Hot Wave. Right. Yeah. So that kind of clicked to me. Like once you said like climbing the mountain, I'm like, oh, I remember that scene in my school president.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so if you could go back to Thailand just for one holiday, only one, you can only pick one, which one would you choose?
New Year's. Because I don't think I celebrated New Year's enough when I lived in Thailand. Magatong, I definitely did that. And, you know, Songkran, I definitely experienced that. But with New Year's, I feel like I didn't spend a lot of time doing much in, you know, on New Year's. I felt like, you know, I was either here, I was pretty much like traveling somewhere. And a lot of times I would come back to the States. And so, I don't remember experience New Year's.
Also, you get presents if you
exactly.
You know, In Thailand for New Year's, is there like a ball drop and fireworks? Like, is it like what we do here? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that's another thing that I want to experience, to see all of that happening, you know. And usually like I don't travel anywhere because I'm just like, you know, I don't want to beat the crowd or anything like that, you know. I've always wanted to go to New York to do that, just to experience it. But then, you know, now I just feel like, oh, maybe it'll be cool to like do that in Thailand. And I don't know how the crowd is. I'm pretty sure it's pretty hectic, but you know, I still want to experience that. Also, like, not that it's like super cold in California, but you know, I want to feel that warmth during, you know, New Year's too. So yeah, but it would be pretty cool to like see the fireworks and all of that, you know, when there's like, you know, temples around you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to experience that sight, you know. So yeah, and what it's like to be with the Thai crowd, for once. Yeah, I don't remember doing that at all when I lived there.
I mean, also a Moonlight Chicken call out because, the Gemini M4, like they kiss on New Year's. It's like, it was a whole thing. Everybody talking about.
Yeah.
That's when, Leung was like, you can't be poor and gay.
Yeah, exactly. You're poor and now you're gay.
Oh, so good.
It has nothing to do with anything, but okay.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. So there, of course, food plays a huge role in holidays here in the States and worldwide. Are there certain holiday foods in Thailand? And do you have a favorite?
We eat everything any time of the year. It doesn't matter when. So we don't have like turkey on Thanksgiving or anything like that. And speaking
are there any lucky foods like here in the States? At least where I'm from, there's certain foods that you eat on New Year's that mean certain things, and it's even different in
culturally.
Texas.
Yeah, in Texas, you have to have black-eyed peas, and you have to eat at least the number of years old that you are. So, like, if you don't like black-eyed peas when you're like a kid, your mom or my mom, like a lot of people's moms will be like, okay, you only have to eat 10. Like eat 10 of the beans and you're fine, right? If you're 10 years old.
And you have to have cornbread because that equals like gold.
Oh, and that wasn't and that wasn't a thing for us. We were just the black-eyed peas and
greens.
Cabbage for some reason.
You had to have greens for money and ham for health, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
We definitely celebrate Chinese New Year's, and there's definitely certain food during Chinese New Year's. So there's mooncake. I don't remember what the symbol of mooncake is. My family celebrates Chinese New Year's, and we do the same thing. I believe if I'm, I think, maybe every culture in Asia who celebrate, Chinese New Year's do it differently. But the way we would do it, we have this mooncake, of course, for example. I'm not sure what it represents, but I could be wrong about this, but something with the food during Chinese New Year's represents like the wealth or health and all that, That's why there's like certain things, but I never eat any of that. But there's also chicken. There's like boiled chicken, like the whole chicken too. So that, and then there's this thing called nom king, which is I don't know how to explain it. It tastes like mochi actually. And there's nom tien, which is kind of like that, where it's like mochi texture, but there's like a filling inside. A lot of people like it. I don't love it. So these are the type of food that we would have like during Chinese New Year's, but this is also called like the offering to like the god, And my family definitely celebrate Chinese New Year. So when we have Chinese New Year's, we would gather and pray, and I usually don't know what I'm doing, but I just gotta like follow what my family's doing. But yeah, we would have this food in front of us.
And then do you get ang pao?
My family, no. But I'm always jealous to see, my friends, who, because like my family is like probably like 20% Chinese. So we don't have like that, ang pao or anything like that. But whenever I see like my friends getting like these red envelopes, and I'm like, oh, I know they're getting a lot, and they're getting a lot of envelopes, and I'm like, I got nothing except, the boiled chicken.
Where does the word ang pao come from? Because sidang is red.
It's a Chinese word.
It's a Chinese word. Which I have no idea what it means.
Yeah, I remember I looked this up because there was a contestant on Project Alpha named Ang Pao, and I was like, I know it. In the show he says it means a red envelope, and so we were like, but that's not Thai, and it's a Chinese word.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be on Cooking Crush.
Oh yeah.
He's on TV now.
So do
you have a favorite food just in general?
in general, definitely, I feel like the older I get, I'm leaning more towards Asian food and especially Thai food. I always love Japanese food, but I found myself recently going more for Thai food, and if I can pick, like, let's say one or two, Thai food, it's super hard. But I could say, like, I love Isan food very, very much. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Isan is a term that is used in the northeastern dialect, or not northeastern region, not dialect. We call Isan. So Isan food, there's like a lot of Laotian influence, and so that's the kind of food I like. Although when I went to the southern part, I never really had southern food before, and I fell in love with southern food too. So I always loved the northern food because I grew up with eating northern food, but so I would say Isan food for sure. Yeah, but if you ask me what is your favorite Isan food
dish,
I don't know. Because they're all good.
We won't make you choose.
You don't have to.
Yeah, it's so hard because and if you haven't, anybody who hasn't had Isan food, definitely try. It might be too strong for some people because it kind of have like the spicier side, but definitely my favorite. It has all the flavors I like.
Nice.
Very cool.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you for teaching us all about the holidays and about the festivals and just, I think, very interesting, useful things to know about a culture as a fan when you're trying to go into something. I think it's always smart and just interesting to be a part of all of it. Exactly. So thank you for explaining it all to us. But of course, this is Let's Talk BL, so you don't get to go without playing another game.
All right, let's play a game.
Although yes, Pivo, วันนี้มาเล่นเกมสนุกกันไหมคะ
โอเคค่ะเล่นค่ะ
Okay. This feels weird because now it really is like a test for me, but we are going to play a game called Kid You Not. I'm going to say one word. You yell out the first word that comes to mind. I will attempt to say these words in Thai. No pressure. So much pressure. Okay. พร้อมไหมคะ
พร้อมค่ะ
Okay. ข้อหนึ่งดาว
จุงดัง
Fair. That's fair. Not like Christmas tree. That's what we're going for, but no. Yeah.
จุงดัง
Okay.
They are a holiday.
They are a holiday. That's true. Okay. ข้อสองภาษาไทย
วรรณยุกต์ which is Tom.
Okay. ข้อสามอาหาร
อีสาน
Right, we just that was kind of unfair, but okay.
Fresh on the brain.
Yeah. Okay, a classic. ข้อสี่รัก
การให้การเข้าใจ which means giving and understanding.
Oh, การให้การเข้าใจ
การเข้าใจ
การเข้าใจ Oh, that's a fun phrase. Okay. And last but not least, kaha. This is a new word for me. We're going to do our best. วันหยุดเทศกาล เทศกาล
พักผ่อน which means relax, rest, taking a break, not doing anything else. So that's my version of holiday. So not doing anything.
Sounds like a great plan.
Yes, that sounds like a good holiday. And happy holidays to everybody if you celebrate a holiday right now.
That's right.
Whether it be Thanksgiving, any other autumnal festival that's happening.
By the way, speaking of Thanksgiving, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Thailand, but there's definitely, people who pick up the American culture and want to celebrate Thanksgiving.
Funny.
So anybody who is in international fans or anybody who's not Thai but live in Thailand, if you want to experience a little bit of the American culture, if you miss it, anybody who's American out there who lives in Thailand, then you can look up, online to see, there's hotels that, you can, that they could say like, oh, okay, this is a, Thanksgiving holiday. I don't know if they have turkey, but ham for sure. But I don't know, turkey. But yeah. So
is turkey common in Thailand? Like, can you get like a turkey sandwich, or is that like?
I don't think it's common at all. I never had turkey in Thailand at all. We don't
that occurred to me.
Dishes that have turkey.
Because like turkeys don't like, it's not really an easy bird to raise, and it's definitely native to America.
Yeah.
So like,
I have never seen one turkey walking around in Thailand.
Yeah, there's a lot in the States.
Yeah, you can just like see turkeys here. It's
not uncommon for you to just like see them on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And there may be turkeys in Thailand. I just never seen any, and none of our dishes that I know of has turkey.
Try to go to Subway and see if they have turkey sandwiches.
I know. I'm very curious. And because like, how in America, very common protein would be like ground turkey and like turkey bacon. I like, now that I think about it, there's never, because you can get like pad kapao, right? Like, and you can get like beef or pork or chicken, but like there's never an option for like turkey.
You got me thinking now, because I think I might include turkey in Thai dish now, just to experience with it, just to see if it's good or not.
I bet it would be good in pad kapao because it's
the sauce is the
like
flavor.
Chicken.
Yeah, it's flavorless. Like the turkey is completely flavorless, so like it would lend itself more to the flavors of what you're cooking with.
Yeah, totally. I think so too. And sometimes we have like, ground pork ball, that, sometimes we use chicken too. And so that could be something, could be on the menu too for like anybody who's like want to eat lean and healthy.
Oh my God. Do we think I should like terrify my family and make like a Thai dish with ground turkey and be like, you guys, it's Thanksgiving. It's like turkey.
It's really turkey, but it's Thai food, or whatever it is.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Like, wait, this is Thai food. Yeah, but it's turkey. It's turkey in there.
Literally no one in my family would be amused. They'd be like, Ayla, please.
That would be amazing. You should do it. Yeah. Well, this has been so much fun. Did you have fun?
I had so much fun.
Wani Sanuk Maka.
Sanuk Maka.
I feel like you should also do your really elaborate thank you.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here with us and for talking with us. ขอบคุณมากค่ะที่คุยกับเราวันนี้
ยินดีค่ะ it was so much fun to be the person being interviewed and not. Well, I'm the artist today.
The artist. You are ศิลปินจริง.
ศิลปินจริง.
Oh, that's so good. Well, this has been Let's Talk BL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all things Let's Talk BL at Let's Talk BL.
ฝากกดไลค์กด subscribe แล้วก็กดกระดิ่งแจ้งเตือนเพื่อไม่พลาดคอนเทนต์สนุกๆจากช่อง Let's Talk BL ด้วยนะคะ
Yeah.